Good morning, everybody. Barb Pitcock here. I want to wish all of you a Merry Christmas early, a happy holiday season. I know it's busy, hustle, bustle. People are running around having Christmas parties. And I know this morning there's a huge thing here in Russell at the church with all the cookies and the festivities. And, in the midst of all that hustle, bustle, I just want to bring you guys an incredibly positive message that some of you are having the best month ever. You love Christmas, you love the season, and so many people are having the hardest battle, the hardest struggle. So I want to give everybody a minute to get on here. I know it takes a minute. Please tag a friend. Drop in the comments if you're watching live. If you're watching the replay, say replay. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Drop in the comments where you're coming in from this morning. It is saying it's having a hard time on Instagram. So what I'm going to do is remove the Instagram and I'll just do the live on another platform for Instagram. So let me know if you're watching it live. If you're watching the restream, say restream. And I am going to connect Instagram on a completely different device. It's funny. All the young kids watch Instagram. All the people my age, usually Facebook, right? Give me 1 minute to get this connected over here. It's funny how technology works. When it's amazing, it is amazing. And when it's not, it is not. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1 on Instagram. Okay. All right, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Now we can get started. Now that we got everything all connected. So today I want to talk to you guys about not quitting, not giving up, about staying present in the moment of all the pain. And I know that for a lot of people, they're like, pain, I love this season. I love it. I have been talking to parents who say, oh my goodness, I have my mom's birthday is today, right? So there would have been times where I've been like, how would I get my mom a birthday gift and go Christmas shopping? All of the utility bills are higher because it's colder out. And there's a lot of people that are struggling because they have multiple families they need to travel to and the airfare is high. It's crazy because there's so many outside distractions that steal our joy on the daily. And what I want to say to you is starve those distractions and feed your focus. January is loading. 2025 is going to be the best year you've ever had. Everybody drop in the comments and say ever. And let's design what I believe could be your springboard. December can be your springboard to the best year you've ever had. So with that said, you got to be hungry. You got to be hungry. People feel like giving up. You got to shut down all the negative. You got to stop every single thought. And you have to wake up earlier to get more done. Maybe you have to stay up a little later to not give up on the list of commitments that you said you were going to deliver. And always starting off, we always start off the morning like it's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great day. And then as the day goes, it gets a little harsh. We start pushing back like, oh, I don't know if I should have said I would do this. You got to put yourself in a position to expand, not shrink. And December is one of the hardest months. You got to sacrifice to become a person that you've never been before if you want to get results that you've never had before. And you cannot waste another single day. So I know it's December. I'm going to tell all of us, let's breathe in all the good and let's exhale all the bad. Just take a deep breath. Everybody just go. And just think like you woke up today with breath in your lungs. You woke up with breath. And there are so many people who didn't. I was getting ready for a Wednesday night inner circle Zoom. My good friend Amy Cross texted me and said, please pray for my good friend. She just found out her son took his life. Right before that, I had been on the phone with one of my top leaders who's had a brother that has struggled for years with addiction. And I knew something wasn't right. And she said, man, I got a call. I thought it was my brother calling me. It was the authorities. His house burned down and he lost his life. This was both in the same day. Then I read a Facebook post of somebody in our little small town. You got to know, and it said, there's a homeless guy. Like, we don't have any homeless people in our small town, right? Because somebody would normally take them in. But someone said, there's a homeless guy under the bridge out by the highway. And there was all these comments. He's on a bike, right? All these comments. People were going to talk trash. And then a good friend of mine said, he's actually a really nice guy. Like, I went and took him breakfast and coffee and we had a great visit. And another person said, man, it's a really cold night, 31 degrees. Like, somebody should take him some blankets. Guys, every single day when we wake up, people are fighting a battle. And there's always going to be pain. There's going to be all of this good happening, always. And there's going to be all of this bad happening. And I just want to encourage you. Today's my mom's birthday. Everybody say happy birthday, Lana. I took my mom to dinner last night, and it was crazy because I had this crazy long day, and it was back to back to back to back Zoom. And we were going to go at 3, and then we were going to go at 4. And we were like, we could drive. My mom loves to gamble. So we were like, we could take her to the casino. It's a couple hours away. And then Brooklyn was like, we could go through Hobby Lobby. And, like, my Zooms lasted forever. And at 5:30, it was like, what's the plan? And the Zooms are important. Like, I got to be responsible. I got to push. I got to keep going. These Zooms were so important. But there's things that you want to do, and then there's things that you have to do to be responsible, right? So sacrifice is the word. You got to sacrifice sometimes and do the hard things, even when you want to say, oh, heck with it. I could put that off till tomorrow. Oh, I don't want to do that tonight. And then in the midst of the sacrifice, you're going to be getting a right hook, a left hook, a jab, an undercut. You might even feel like tapping out, right? But you got to keep going. You got to put yourself in a space to expand, not shrink. And when I think about that, I think about my mom, because she has given me so much strength and wisdom. Just watching her every day is a new opportunity. Always something happening, always something that needs done. And that may be good or it may be bad, but I'm telling you, you can't waste another day focused on anything except the good. Hard work and good choices will always bring you opportunity. Last night, I posted a picture with my mom and my good friend Jill Zink. Her name was Jill Michael growing up, but she goes, oh, I just remember how hard your mom always worked. And while we were sitting at dinner last night, my mom and dad, when they were married, they had these good friends that they always hung out with. And that couple actually was sitting in the booth next to us. And when they got up and got ready to leave, the guy, Steve, stopped and said, how are you, Lana? Still working hard. In my mom's exact words, she said, you have to keep going or they're going to throw dirt on you. And I was like, dang, that should be on a shirt, right? Like, keep going or they're going to throw dirt on you. And Dave and I dropped her off last night at her house, and she had this big trailer, like a dump truck trailer. She's feeding bottle calves, and she's got a campground, and she's got a car wash, and she's got like 90 rental properties. Like, the woman never stops. Single mom, 5 kids. And I thought about the harsh month of December, all the years when I was growing up. And I was like, that's going to be my topic tomorrow. You got to be afraid to not face the very things that could be your excuse to say, screw it. I hate Christmas. It's bad. It's sad. I ain't even doing it. I got all these kids. I have no money. I have no support. I have no husband. The debts are high. The funds are low. Everything's expensive. It's the economy. It's the government. You guys, that's all an excuse. It's all an excuse. Because there are people who are hungry that wake up every day. And I just want you to imagine the guy that's under the bridge in my hometown, freezing his ass off last night, 31 degrees. What happened to him? Not what's wrong with him. What happened to him? Because that very guy could be the next Jelly Roll that wins all the CMA awards and goes into prisons and speaks and opens a church and writes a book and changes the whole world, while you're sitting there complaining that your electric bill is about to get turned off and you don't have money to buy all the lavish things you usually buy for your family. You guys, there are people that burned to death this week. There are people with children in a cancer hospital begging for the Lord to give them a miracle and take away a life-threatening disease. And then I see people sitting in the bar complaining last night. We were not at the bar, we were in a booth, but that there's no water in Russell. Like something happened, the whole water tower drained. They haven't had water for 3 days. So imagine that, like no water for 3 days. It's crazy. That is a big problem, but you got to feed your focus and starve your distractions. And the negative conversations will stop you just like that. So we're at dinner last night. We've had an amazing week. My daughter Brooklyn has been home for 3 weeks now. Her release date to come back to Kansas and be with us, she was always in Kansas, but to come home would have been Monday, right? So this upcoming Monday, Brooklyn was going to be with us and we were going to have Christmas and whatever. But all of these blessings happened on November 15th, and Brooklyn actually came back home on November 15th. So we have had an amazing month, right? We have done so much. We have been with family. We've went to dinner. We decorated the basement. We got so many things accomplished. We talked about a podcast. We dream build about businesses she could open. Like everything is good. And in the middle of dinner last night, while I'm having a great supper with my mom for her birthday, I get a text message that is this just bodacious, made up, stupid rumor. And in the past, it would have literally like set me off. And it's funny because Brooklyn and I both started laughing hysterically and said, oh my God, those are the people who will always be negative and miserable for the rest of their life. Let's just keep rising and vibing, right? So every day you've got all of this around you. You wake up, you're like, I'm going to have a great day. I'm not going to allow all the drama. I'm not going to listen to all the news. I'm not going to conform to all the negative people. I'm not going to. And then what happens? One little thing happens. One little thing happens and it sets you off. And then you get like a little cockleburr in your shoe. It's just that little thing that just keeps it, you just can't get rid of it. And all of a sudden it starts the self-doubt. Now I'm telling you guys, I don't care if you're the guy under the bridge. I don't care if you're the person that just got out of jail. I don't care if you're the person going through a bankruptcy right now or a divorce. You've lost everything, your big mansion, your car, your home, your job. You're in a rental. You're literally in a hotel room. I've been at the top. I've been at the bottom. I've owed the IRS at the end of the year where I'm like, oh my gosh, lost my income. How am I going to pay $70,000 this month when my income's $3,000? Like, I've had it all. I've lost it all. Let me tell you the hard truth. This life is going to be ups and downs. It's going to be ebb and flow. You're going to have good Decembers. You're going to have horrible Decembers. You're going to have amazing Januaries. You're going to have horrible Januaries. Failure is only permanent if you choose to stay stuck. So I'm going to tell you, you got to take 15 minutes a day. That will change the trajectory of the rest of your life. We get one shot at this. One shot. One freaking shot. This is not a dress rehearsal. My mom turned 72 today, and guess what? My mom's probably going to live longer than most of the people I know my age because she's not going to stop. She's not going to quit. She doesn't get caught up in the muck. Every day she wakes up, she has a new project. We pulled in her driveway last night. She has a whole dump truck. I started to tell this, trimmed the whole big, like huge pine trees. And she said, the boys texted me and said, why did you fill that so full? The jack doesn't work on it. And she goes, well, I found a jack and I put the jack under it. And if you put the jack under it, you can jack it up and get it on the hitch. She's like, they told me I should probably go buy a new trailer. Why would I do it that way? I'm just too tight to go buy a new trailer. And the thing is, she won't go buy herself a new trailer, even though she could pay cash for one, When I go to dinner with her, she says, do you want to split the meal? It's the special. But she has more money than anybody that I know because she came from nothing. She sacrificed. She did the hard thing. She was hungry. Everybody type in the comments, hungry. Like, you've got to be hungry for more. And if you don't work for it and someone gives you something that you didn't have to sacrifice and go through the pain, you won't ever appreciate it. We get one shot at this life. You got to be willing to confront the pain. Everyone's going to have pain. Everybody is going to have pain. Be willing to confront it. Any part of you that is not speaking into fruition, every single thing you want, stop program. Stop program. You got to reboot the computer. You got to clean off the hard drive. Anything that is not speaking abundance and it's thinking about scarcity. If it's not speaking to your desired result, if it is not speaking to what you dream of every single day, you can't have a positive and a negative thought at the same time. You've got to go cancel, 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 cancel. Last night, I wanted to throat punch the person who started a rumor and sent it to me. It was the craziest rumor that, it was crazy. I wouldn't even repeat it or give it any power. And I was like, well, that's funny because here's a picture of me and her together, happy, and everything is amazing. So go suck the life out of somebody else. How about, loser? Like, I don't think that way. I don't speak that way. I'm all love. But I'm telling you guys, there is nothing that irritates me more than the people who want to stop every good thing that is happening for other people. You want to know why they do that? Misery. Misery loves company. And you got to choose whether you're going to be following misery, the man of defeat, or happiness and joy, which is the man that always wins. It's victory or defeat, one on each shoulder. If you didn't get Dave's book on the Black Friday special, go to pitcockmarketing.com and get The Thinking Cure. It's a little $10 book. You get 30 days, 21 days actually, of videos of him just in your inbox, rewiring your brain. I live with the man, so I'm fortunate. But every day I wake up and I start with this productivity planner. And every day at the end of the day, even on a bad day, I say, what am I grateful for? And if it's a bad day, the last question is, how did I grow through this? Because I'm always reframing it. If I didn't do this on the daily, I would be a very negative person. I would post about all the things that are unfair. I would post about all the mean people. There's only about 5 or 6 mean people in the world, but they used to all follow me around every single day. And I couldn't figure it out. And then I realized, I'm attracting this. So if you think about it, if you could shut down every negative thought that comes your way, and you could shut down every negative person that comes your way, and you could just be like, not doing that. January's loading. It's going to be my best year ever. God's going to bring so much abundance. I'm either going to have abundance or I'm going to have scarcity. Let me see. That's a hard decision. I think I'm going to choose abundance. So let me tell you about these vibrational emotions. Every emotion and thought we have creates a vibration that goes through our whole body. Our whole body. It affects every organ. Have you ever had a rough day or a trauma that's happening in your life? I will tell you, there was a time in my life where I got a phone call from a family member and it was a negative conversation. True story, Dave will tell you. It was so painful and the things they said hurt me so bad that when I walked into my bedroom, just the thought of that becoming a reality, I collapsed on the floor. Literally hit the floor. Dave called the hospital, threw me in the car, drove me to the hospital, couldn't find anything wrong, did a whole bunch of tests. It literally dropped me to my knees. And I will tell you, there was another time in my life where I had tons of pain, tons of negative thoughts, grief, burying my mother-in-law 2 years ago this week, daughter overdosing on fentanyl, being in an ambulance, didn't think she was going to live. her boyfriend going to prison for assault and battery with a deadly weapon. Like, this was real shit happening in Christmas season. Like, let me just say the word. It was real poop happening during December. That wasn't a happy holiday. That wasn't a Merry Christmas. That wasn't a, oh my gosh, everything is wonderful. I would literally drop her Christmas bag off on her porch and wonder if she was breathing and text her. And I talked to Brooklyn this week and I said, you know that bag that's sitting there that we unpacked out of that tote? That's the one that I dropped on your porch. And we looked at it and the card said 2021. Can you guys imagine my 2021, my 2022? You'd think it's going to get better. Then it got even worse. And then it got even worse. I am here to tell you, I don't care how bad it is. I had to keep going. I had to keep going. I could not quit. And God was conditioning me through every one of those rough seasons to be a person that had faith, to be a person that had discernment, to be a person that would forgive, to be a person that no matter what anybody said about me. Last night when I got that text, it was such a trigger. I literally wanted to go to my Facebook wall and say, this town sucks. People suck. Gossip, gossip, gossip. Rumor, rumor, rumor. And then I was like, my audience doesn't even know these miserable people. Why would I post about them? If I'm going to be rising and vibing and bringing people a message that says, no guts, no sorry, let's conquer the world, best year loading, let's go, 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 let's change lives, let's make impact. I can't go on my Facebook wall and talk about the Somebody Did Me Wrong song because they said that my daughter and I got in a fist fight and that she escaped and that authorities were looking for both of us. Like, can you even imagine that right now, guys? That's the world we live in. They want to create gloom and doom and negative and scarcity and hate and division and bad vibes because they're bad, miserable energy. And what you've got to do is control your environment. You're not a tree. You can move. I mean, I had to scratch my head this week. You can't drink the drinking water here. Although my daughter had to drink tap water the last 9 months. That's all that she could have, right? You can't drink the drinking water here. All the people are being negative. There's tons of rumors. There's complete misery. And here I am, 30 years, same house, 22 acres in the country. I'm in my mind, I'm like, why don't I just run away from this place? Here's the thing, you guys, I'm going to be the light. I'm going to be the fountain, not the drain. I'm going to be the giver, not the taker. I'm going to be the person bringing a solution, not discussing the problems. And I'm not going to succumb to being an average person. I'm not going to be ordinary. I'm going to do extra. I'm going to wake up and be all love. The only thing you're going to see on my wall is all positive, all love, finding solutions, rising and vibing and helping people to raise their vibration to a whole new level where we're literally going to change the freaking world in 2025. And it starts today. I can't say I'm tired. I really wanted to go have a fun day with my mom. I should have quit at noon. I can't say I can't take anymore. I think I'm going to go lay in my bed in the fetal position and cry because it's sad, because I miss the people that were grieving. I miss the families that can't all be together. You guys, you've got to be happy. It is an inside job. I have so much to be grateful for. I have breath. I have breath. A lot of people don't. I have a warm bed to sleep in. A lot of people don't. I have amazing friends. A lot of people don't. I have people that love me. There's a lot of people that feel like they have nobody that loves them. If I had zero money in my bank account and I lost every single bit of it, I'm telling you guys, I would attract abundance. I would go right back to the top. I would probably do it 10 times faster, and I wouldn't be blaming anyone except myself if I didn't. Because here's what people can't take from you. They can't take your spirit. People can't take your joy. People can't take your faith. People can never take your wisdom. And one thing that you will always have is a network of people that you build based on not how much money you made, how much fame you had, or what you accomplished, but how you serve others and how you make them feel. And I'm telling you guys, you're going to attract a tribe in 2025 that will come around you, where there is a seat at the table, where there is a chair on the plane, where there is a space for you to sit in the bleachers, and you're going to be surrounded by people that are going to say, come on, let's go. Let's make this your best year ever. So if you're in the toughest part of your life, let me tell you something that you may not love. This is probably not the toughest part of your life. Everybody thought 2020 was so bad. Oh my God, it's 2020. You guys, 2020, looking back, probably one of the best years of my life. I just didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know what was going to happen during that year that was going to conform me and condition me to be the person that I am today. So this won't be the toughest year of your life. Let's say that. We've got to set out knowing that there's always going to be pain. I wrote down something this morning. Where did I write that down? Oh, I don't know where I wrote it. I thought I had it here. It said there's always going to be pain. Always going to be pain. You've got to learn to put yourself in a place, and I think I already said this, to expand, not to shrink, and don't settle for anything less than authenticity. So I have been so authentic this year, right? Has it been painful? Can you guys even imagine your daughter being incarcerated and you feeling like she didn't really deserve to be in there with a bunch of criminals, but she missed a meeting? And it was inevitable. She missed a meeting. And because she missed a meeting, it was 6 months. It wasn't fair. It wasn't right. It was inhumane. There was so much bad, but I couldn't go post about how horrible the people they were, even though I wanted to. I couldn't go fight a battle because it wasn't my battle to fight. During that 6 months, my daughter Brooklyn became a person that she had never been because she went through things that she had never gone through. And she has so much power and she has so much purpose and she has such an amazing story. And life's too short to make excuses. Life's too short to blame. You have to be willing to confront anything you're going through and not waste another minute. Say it with me. Say, I'm ready for 2025. I'm ready. Who's ready? I'm ready for 2025. And I have to know that this one shot that we have at life, if Brooklyn and I said, you know, let's go get even with all those people that did us wrong. That was so fair. Look what they unfair. Look what they did to us, blah, blah, blah. No, it's different. See, pressure either creates a diamond or it breaks the pipe. It's the same pressure. Pressure does a lot of things. And what you've faced in your life will help you to become the most amazing person that you could have become. No pressure, no growth. If you can't get up a little bit earlier, if you can't sacrifice a little bit more, if you can't do a little bit more, read a little bit more, learn a little bit more. I was thinking last night as I was sitting there eating with my mom, like I love to go eat with my mom, but it's the same people around the bar every time we go to there's only like 3 restaurants. So you don't, and there's like 12 bars. So no, there's 3 restaurants and 4 bars, not 12. Let me rephrase that. I was about to exaggerate. But it's a life where people choose the path of least resistance. It's easy for people to give up. And when you're on the right path and you're pushing so hard, and then it gets harder. So many people say, why did I even set out to do this? I'm going to give up. I'm telling you guys, don't give up. Get up. And I'm going to give you 4 or 5 things that you can do in the month of December that might help you to just lessen the pressure and the pain, right? So one of the things that I will tell you is Christmas only lasts for one day. It only lasts for one day. And the energy that you spend in a hard year worrying about all the pressure of that one day, when it's over, you're going to be like, why did I make it out to be such a horrible month when I should have just pretended like, hey, It's not the 25th until it's the 25th, and then it's only the 25th for one day. There were years, and I am Mrs. Christmas. I think I have 7 trees up in my house. Like I used to have 20. I loved the season of Christmas until I had so much pain that the holiday amplified it. And then I was like, I just want it to be over with. I'm dreading it. I just want it to be over with. And I could never understand these people that hated Christmas. How could they hate Christmas? Like, it's the most wonderful time of the year. But when you're struggling, holidays amplify the separation. They amplify the funeral. They amplify the fact that you're missing someone you love. Maybe your family is estranged. It amplifies the fact that you don't have the income you had whatever year when Christmas was great. It amplifies the emotion, right? And so what I want to say to you is, what would have to happen in your life for you to have complete peace in the month of December? Here's what I would say. You got to be hungry for January. You got to be looking forward to January, because December is going to come and go anyway. So just remove all the negative from your mind and let's just think January. January's coming. 2025 is coming. I'm going to sacrifice like I've never sacrificed so I can have more than I've ever had. I'm going to do more than I've ever done so I can receive, right? You can't receive what you don't give. And it's always going to be darkest right before the dawn. So January's coming. What are you going to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to celebrate next Friday? 120%. 120%. That's what I'm bringing. Always something happening, always a distraction. I could literally be helping someone and giving and doing and putting so much in and have someone literally like pull the rug right out from under me and tell me what a horrible person I was right in the middle of it. Every single day. Guess what? Where there is great success, there will be great responsibility. And you've got to grow. In order for things to get better, you have to get better. Not everybody around you, you have to get better. You have to get stronger. You have to get more consistent. You have to be able to sacrifice more. You have to have discernment. And what you put out, you're going to get back tenfold. So what are we going to put out in the month of December? Well, I will tell you, put your credit card somewhere that you can't find it, because what you do on your credit card in December is going to make you feel like crap in January. It's not necessary. It's just not necessary. I never had a credit card. After Dave and I learned that lesson, we had debit card only. If we didn't have it, we didn't spend it. There's no reason for it. You're worrying about other people, trying to impress people that you don't like half the time. And you're worrying about what they think, and they don't care. And it makes you feel worse once you spend the money, right? So here's what I'm going to tell you. In the month of December, there's ways that you can create a ton of joy, create amazing gifts, have so much fun, and not have to go into debt. Now, if you don't have the means to get through this month, call your bank. This is a hack. And say, I am expecting to have an influx in January and February. I'm expecting to increase my income. Things are going to be different. I know that it's coming, and I'll show you how it can be. I will help you 10x your income if you want. I would like to pay interest only in the month of December on all of my notes and just move that payment to the end of the note. You can do that 2 times a year. 2 times a year. And it's December, so you only have 1 time to do it left this year. Call the bank, say, I was talking to my financial counselor, and they told me that there might be a way that I could pay interest only. You know I'm good for it. I have an influx of money coming in the new year. I would like to pay interest only on my car note and my house note. Could you just move that payment to the end? And they would say yes. Because guess what? The only money they keep is your interest anyway. And the longer they have you on that loan, the more money they make. It's an easy hack. What if you could just have no mortgage and no car payment this month? Would that take off the edge? For me, sometimes that was survival. I've been there. I have absolutely been there. You can also call every credit card and do the same thing. I am not able to make a payment this month. I don't want to hurt my credit. I am working on repairing my credit, but could I just pay interest only? They will all say yes. So it just gives you a little bit of cushion. I'll tell you something else. A gift that you make means so much more than a gift that you buy. So Dave and I had this old Kahlua recipe, and we're not even drinkers, but Dave had this Kahlua recipe, and we would go to Hobby Lobby. We would get all these really cool bottles, and we would make the Kahlua, and then we would print a little online book that had all the recipes, and they were hilarious. And people would make mudslides or whatever. And it's funny because we're not even drinkers, but a lot of people in our family loved Dave's homemade Kahlua. They would literally look forward to it. Or we would go and we would shave a whole bunch of beef and we would make homemade beef jerky. Just put it in the oven with the door open a little bit, let it dry. We put it in cool little containers and we showed up with tons of homemade beef jerky. When Brooklyn and I were working together in the office all the time, she would go on Snapfish and she would get everyone's birthday and she would put Monday or January through December. And whoever had a birthday that month was part of the photo on the calendar. And we had a birthday calendar made. We have a huge family. So there's like 10 birthdays a month, right? And so all the birthdays were on there, all the anniversaries. And when you opened it up, like if December was my mom and my brother-in-law Duke and my dad, then their pictures would be on there. And then in January, it would be all the January birthdays. March, it's all of us. So it would be all of us girls in March. And it was just such a great gift. And, it was like a $12 or $15 gift, but it meant so much. Sometimes we stress about all the things we need to do. Probably the greatest gift I ever got from Dave's mom was a little $2 photo book, like you get at Dollar General. And when you open it, instead of a 4x6 photo, it has every handwritten recipe. And I use it almost every single day. And I think about her. And you know what's even better than that? She made one for my kids. And she put a picture of her on the front with the kids on her lap and the title of the cookbook in just a little photo book, like a little notebook with a 3-hole punch. It says Nana's favorites, and she's holding all the kids. And then when you open it up, it has all Nana's favorite recipes. You guys, I'm telling you, life is too short to stress about all the things that people think need to be done during the holidays. I want you to have your best year ever in January. And I know you're fighting a battle. I mean, there were Decembers where I was literally helping Dave's mom drain a liter of fluid off of her belly twice a day while I was in the middle of Zooms in companies with people that didn't get along. Like, I hated what I was doing. I hated how I was working. I hated the fact that I was having to help someone try to survive. I hated so many things about that current situation, but I knew this is temporary. It was a chapter, not a lifetime. And I want to tell you, in the midst of that struggle and that battle that I thought was the worst pain ever, it wasn't the worst pain. I was in that place at a time to learn, to grow, to have conversations, to gain wisdom, to get stronger, to understand compassion for other people that might go through that, and to be able to encourage them. This is not your whole life. It's a tiny little chapter. Stop that crazy talk. The worst case scenario is not going to happen. Don't settle for anything less than what you want. Don't let the thought in for anything other than what you want to attract. And for God's sakes, don't post it. Don't post what you don't want. Don't speak what you don't want. Don't say what you don't want. It gives it energy. If I go talk about all the mean people in my town, it gives them energy. If I go talk about all the unfair things that are happening, it gives it energy. I want to give energy. Thoughts are things. Emotions are real. It's attacking every organ in my body every time I think it, say it, speak it, and believe it. So what I have to do is almost brainwash myself I have to take what's happening and say, that's not happening. Not another day, not another minute, not today, Satan. Get the hell out of my life. Leave. There's the door. I mean, I have to rebuke that and say, everything good is happening for me. It says it right there on my wall. Look, if I turn this, what does that wall say? Well, you can't see it because I have so much clutter, but it says good things right there in the corner. It says, good things are going to happen for me today. I want you to say that out loud right now. Good things are going to happen for me today. Good things are going to happen for me in 2025. Everything good happens for me. I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. I am a child of the Most High God. And if it's not for me, who dare be against me if God's for me? Everything good is happening for me today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day, even when there's mean people, even when there's unfair things, even when there's pain, even when there's pressure. Am I going to be the diamond from the pressure, or am I going to be the pipe that breaks? That's what you got to ask yourself. Are you going to be the diamond, or are you going to be the pipe that breaks? And I'm telling you, you got to take 15 minutes a day, in the morning and in the night. Write it down. Write it down. Get the planner. Ask yourself, what is my gratitude for today? What are the top 3 things I want to accomplish today? How could I make more, spend less, learn, grow, and bring value every single day? What projects am I on? What am I looking forward to? You've got to be looking forward to something every single day. Do you think my husband, Dave, could be depressed right now, missing his mom? Absolutely. You know where he's at right now? Working on the dreams, working on the goals, working on the project. You got to keep moving. You got to keep moving. You can't stop. You got to be on projects. You got to say, who am I waiting on to move this project forward? We were going to launch a new website in 48 hours, but we're waiting on certain people to move things forward. We have to say, what are the things I can delegate that I can't do today in order to accomplish these goals? You've got to have a team around you. You can't do this on your own. You need to be surrounded by people that are lifting you up, not tearing you down. At the end of the day, every day, you got to answer the question, what are the things that I accomplished today? And even if it's not a lot, you've got to say, I sent a text and told someone I loved them. I cleaned my bathroom floor. I wrote 1 chapter of my book. I made 1 sales call. I painted 1 gift that I'm going to give away. You know, it's funny because there's a lot of days that if I didn't do this exercise, I would talk about everything I didn't get done instead of everything I did get done, because my days get interrupted a lot. It's never about me, ever. I set out the day for it to be like this, and it always goes a different way because that's my job. I'm serving people. I'm loving people. I'm helping people. I'm taking care of business. Some of you got to get your poor little old me out of the way, and you got to say, I'm going to go be great. I'm going to bring it. It's a new day. I'm going to give 120% on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and next Saturday when we're on here and it's no Gus, no story, you're going to be like, I crushed it this week. Everybody stand up, put your shoulders back, and just say, I'm about to crush it this week. Everything good happens for me. Good things happen for me every single day. I have abundance, not scarcity. I attract good, not bad. I'm all love, no hate. I forgive. I don't resent. I love. I don't hate. I have joy, not sadness. I have belief, not fear. I mean, they're 2 different things. You can't have both. You got to choose which one you're going to serve. And you guys, those high vibrational, authenticity is the highest vibration of all. Next to that is love. The lowest vibration right before death, right? Guilt, shame, anger, resentment, hate. Anger is actually good compared to some of them, because anger, as Star Wars, my husband's favorite, says, it makes you focus. Sometimes you do have to get mad. Get mad about your situation. Say, I'm going to do something about this. But you don't have to be negative. You can get mad and you can make a decision. It doesn't mean that you have to say, Barb is the worst person in the world. I can't believe her. She's so stupid. What is she even thinking? If I said something that made you mad, just get mad and get going, right? You don't have to agree with me on everything. We don't even have to be in the same company. But let me inspire you to not stay stuck. Let me inspire you to go be more, do more, so you can have more and give more and actually make impact. Because success is not going to attack any of you. And the minute you think December is your month to be sad and be mad and be lax and relax and don't do all the things and blame it on all the parties and all the things you have to do, then January is going to come. You're a month behind. Look at what you could have done in December that would have set you up to have the best January ever. So for me, I'm waking up earlier. I'm going to bed later. I have the same pain that all of you have. It's just on a completely different level. I'm either going to make excuses or I'm going to make money. And let me tell you a real hard fact. I ain't going to make both. I'm either going to make excuses or I'm going to make money. I'm either going to make excuses or I'm going to make impact. I'm either going to make excuses or I'm going to make a difference. I'm either going to make excuses and blame and be angry, or I'm going to make a way. And the day that you wake up, if you won't do it for yourself, do it for your kids. Because let me tell you something, they're watching you and you're teaching them. You're teaching them because your actions speak so much louder than words. It's why I don't gossip. I don't hate. I don't blame. I don't resent. And I'm around a lot of people that do. And you know what I have to say? Let's find the good. It's all going to work out. Let's learn the lesson. Let's move forward. Let's be better than them. Let's don't stoop to the level of that. And when somebody does make you mad or hurt your feelings or gossip about you or tear you down, guys, you don't have to defend yourself. Here's the hardcore truth. You have an audience of one, and he's the only one that cares. And at the end of this lifetime, no matter how hard I dance, some people, they ain't ever going to clap. But I will tell you one thing, I'm going to keep on dancing. And at the end of this lifetime, here's what he's going to say. Job well done. You left it all on the table. I knew you would. You believed in me. You kept going. You served me. You loved me. You gave me all the glory. You had no ego. You were completely humble. And at the end of the day, you did the most important thing. You told people that without me, you would be nothing. And you guys, that is my message to every single one of you. I'm not that good. I'm not that good. But I am a child of the Most High God, and he is going to continue to bless me. He's going to continue to protect me. He's going to continue to help me connect with the right people that want to serve and love and make impact. And we are going to build an empire in this world of people that are rising up, that are all love, that are sharing and loving and giving and serving. And you know what? We might have our own little compound one day, but here's the reality. Until then, we're just going to keep meeting right here every Saturday morning on No Guts, No Story. So I can just take a little bit of my heart and tell you that I love you. You are going to be okay. I know how hard this life is. I'm living in it. Like we're both in the same life, right? I have literally had my heart ripped out in the last 3 or 4 years. Sometimes I feel like they not only ripped it out, but they trampled all over it. And some days I thought it's never going to be repaired. But guess what? There is nothing that God can't do. And there is nothing that the enemy can do to stop you from your destiny. And if God put it in your heart, if he put it in your heart, it's there for a reason. Don't settle. If you can look up, you can get up. Let's keep going. Let's be rising and vibing. And just call someone right now and say, I love you. How are you? I've been thinking about you. How are you? How are you feeling? What can I do? Is there something I could do to serve you? I think about my mama. She wrapped people's presents for money. She just put a little ad in the Tradio. Hey, we'll wrap presents. That way she could still be a single mom and she could make some extra money. We did house calls. She dressed up like Mrs. Santa. She cleaned people's houses. She put up their Christmas lights. We bought plywood. We cut out nativity scenes and painted them. We did whatever we had to do, but you know what? There was never a year that we went without, because my mom, my absolute hero, always found a way. She always found a way. And she showed me what it means to be a strong, independent woman that can get through anything that comes her way. And I'll tell you, she showed me that by giving me a life of faith where I knew that God was there and that things were always going to get better. So whether you're going through an amazing month and you're crushing your goals and you're celebrating, stay humble. There's a lot of people going through pain. Be all love. And if you're going through all the pain, stay faithful. There's always going to be light. Darkness happens. The darkest always happens right before the dawn, and your day is coming. So you guys have an amazing day. I'll see you next week on No Guts, No Story.